All right. Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying the torrent of videos that are coming your way. I have like five, four or five in the queue that I just haven't taken the time to compile and upload, but they're coming at you now. Like, subscribe, etc. Today is my birthday. Woo! Yay! Woo! It's also chess day. I mean, like, what a combo, it doesn't get much better than that. We got the chess day, best day, on the birthday. It's like a little present to myself. I'm 28 years of age today. And yeah, pretty cool. I think it's Monday. We're just, surviving. Car talk. Unfortunately, my worst fears have come not my worst fears, but some fears have come true. I got the new pads and rotors in, and they're not eBay crap. They're decent. They're like real good parts, and so they actually fit right in. They didn't bind. But unfortunately, very unfortunately, the master cylinder is failing, which is sad. It's a bad time. It's because it's like a $50 part. No, it's like $35, and I gotta buy more brake fluid because I'm out. I bought like a gallon of .4 last year, and I'm like, this will last me my whole life. Nah, bro. Nah, not when you rebuild a brake system and you bleed a clutch and you bleed another clutch and you do all this other stuff and so anyway, the point is I gotta get more brake fluid, and I have to redo the master cylinder, which won't be too bad aside from the bench bleeding, which is optional. You don't have to bench bleed if you have a partner or a wedge. You can just brake bleed it from the driver's seat. Bench bleeding, you like get the return lines and you put them into the like you route the return lines into the reservoir on top of the master cylinder, and you just pump the piston, right? That works great. But for this, what you got to do is you obviously take the old master cylinder off, put the new one on, and then you lightly thread the lines in. You depress the brake pedal all the way to the floor, and hold it there, whether that's with like a stick, a 2x4, your buddy, your dog, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever. They hold it there, or it gets held there, and then you go back up and you tighten the lines down all the way. You release the brake pedal, right? And then you rinse and repeat. So you do that, then you go crack the lines again so that they're loose. Depress the brake pedal all the way, hold it there, tighten lines up. You do that like 6-7 times, and then that is actually a very, very effective way to bleed a master cylinder. And then after that, you have to do your traditional either brake bleeding or pressure bleeding. And since it's a Volkswagen, I pressure bleed because pressure bleeding is the tits. It's just so convenient. I can't lie. It's a lot easier than like, okay, press it. All right, let go. Okay, press it. Nightmare. But that thankfully won't be the case. I've got 3D Energy, which I believe is Sam Sulik's sponsor. That's a strawberry lemonade. Let's give it a test. It's not bad. Not bad. Definitely get the strawberry. Like the flavor is all there. Not terrible. But yeah, so I got to get the master cylinder, and I'll do that. And then if that still doesn't solve the problem, then it's the brake booster, and then my nightmares will come true. Then my biggest fears will be realized, because the brake booster, while simple in concept, is just a bitch in practice, because it's a lot of tight spaces, it's a lot of wiggle worming, it's a lot of finicking and knuckle busting, and you just gotta take it out and slap the new one in. You have to detach the brake pad. I've been over this, but hopefully the master cylinder is the only cause. And I thought at first that it was the booster, right? Because it would, when I had the crappy eBay parts on there, it would build pressure with motor off and then sync with motor on, okay, the brake pedal. Now, I didn't notice any problems before I redid the brakes, and that's just because the pads were so worn down and so thin that you didn't really notice, because you had to push the pedal far enough down anyway to actually engage the brake pads. But after I swapped them, I started noticing the failing thing. And when the eBay parts were on there, the pads were so big and they were so bound that you couldn't really feel them syncing with the motor off. You definitely feel it syncing with the motor on, couldn't feel it syncing with the motor off. So, and so I thought it was the booster because it only sank with the motor off. But after I got real, actual, not dog crap parts on there, I noticed that, oh man, yeah, this is with the motor on or motor off, I get a syncing pedal. That's master cylinder failure. So, we're gonna fix it. But anyway, you know, I'm not a huge fan of, you know, my birthday. As you like get older and whatnot, I think it becomes less and less important and less cool. And then once you hit like 80, it starts to get really cool again. You know, but I just, I'm not the biggest fan. I don't love the hullabaloo and the excitement of it. And I mean, I did when I was a kid, you know, like every kid wants to be the center of attention and all that, but I just don't dig it as much anymore. I don't really, it's just kind of not my thing. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, you know. So I'm not unique, I guess. But we're gonna have a good time. Miss Katie's making me a cake. That's my fiance. She's making me a cake and some dinner, and that's gonna be cool. I'm gonna go work out. Hopefully, see my buddies. We'll talk for a while. I'm gonna spend too much time at the gym because it's my birthday. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like I did my breaks, I wanted to do that. Otherwise, I would like feel guilty for not having done it. But that's what I wanted to do today. So, or for having done it, not spending my time another way. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. You're a grown up or not. You know, it's a free country-ish. Even though we pay more taxes per capita than Denmark. Did you know that? Denmark, an actual, genuinely socialist country, has a higher net tax rate than the United States once you factor in our Social Security, Medicare, property, all that. That's cool, right? Neat. Just kidding. But enough with the depressing talk. It's time to get a little pumpski in, okay? So I will see you guys at the gym very shortly. Stay handsome. All right, so incline dumbbell. Last time we did the 105s, which we will be doing again. Last time we got 12, followed by 8, followed by 6. So ideally, we'd like to get 3 sets of 12, right? But realistically, we're probably looking for 12, 10, and 8. That'd be cool. Or I would also take like 15, 6, and 6, honestly. But basically we just want the reps to go up. I wore my leg day shirt. This is from my mama, but I wore my leg day shirt and it's not leg day. I didn't realize. I thought it was a different shirt. I put it on and I'm like, screw it, it's fine. So anyway, here we go. I am gonna hop this up a notch. There we go. I want to slide. Easier to hurt yourself when you slide. I learned the other day. Ah! That was 13, and I probably could have pushed that last one, but I think it would have been detrimental to the rest of the workout. But 13's awesome. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm already like 60% pumped here. So I was 13. That I'm honestly pretty freaking stoked no matter what the rest happens for this day set. So let's do it. That's another 12. I think I'm just He-Man today, bro. Yep. Bep. 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 Yep. Yep. My yams are exploding. That is freaking awesome. 13, 12, and 10. Woo! All right. Flat dumbbell flat dumbbell. Don't know why it came out like that. Same concept. You feel? I'm gonna do 85s. 85s. We'll see how that goes. Oh, itchy. All right. We'll see. My tits are already pretty tore up, so as for 3 sets, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Walk a flock of flame. Flocker. Brick squad. Yeah, I'm fried. Woo! Yeah, if I get like 9 again or whatever that was, I'm gonna call it there because there's no point. What? With the X Games. Flock of flame brick squad. Oh. Yep. That'll do it. Yeah, we'll move on to our flies, I think. Looking for some dumbbell flies. The shirt's riding up a little bit. I wonder if it's a single X or a 2X. It's a bit tight. It's only 40 pounds, so it should be easy. Oh, damn. Oh, that was really hard. And perhaps that's because I grabbed 140 and 145 because I'm fully spesh. Jeez. I think, you know how I say, like, just because, like, something's too light or whatever, you didn't get the wrong weight, you can make the set hard. I mean, that applies to, like, reps and depth and whatnot, but I think, like, the body, like the human body, the human mind is powerful enough that you can, like, think yourself into thinking a weight is really heavy, and then you can either use that to your advantage or disadvantage, right? You're trying to move something, like as a heavy bench or a squat or whatever, and it's heavy PR, and you're like, oh, it's too heavy. I'll never get it. I'll never be able to get it. That's like, it's your disadvantage. But like, if you're doing something like flies or press or whatever, and you're like, oh, it's too light, but you just like really strain it and like really just dig and activate every single muscle fiber, then you can actually like increase the efficacy of the lift without actually doing any more weight, because you're making it more difficult on your body by recruiting more individual muscle fibers for a more preposterous lift. I don't know if that's scientific or not, but it's definitely bro science. All right. I have the same weight in both hands this time. So. Like right now, I'll show you. I'll just make it tough. You know, it's the same weight for these last 2 reps. Okay. I mean, like 10 times the pump, even though effectively nothing was changed, all right? If you guys like ska and or punk music and or Irish music, I really recommend the band Chewy. It's just C-A, Chew-I-E. And it's an Irish punk band, ska band. They do a bunch of cool stuff, and they're super underground, so if they ever make it big, look who put you onto them. I also like the way they say dust. I've had my Oh my gosh, pain. Okay, gosh dang. I'm gonna die. Rough. Alright, I think next is triceps. These are these Lewis pushdowns, aka I don't love them. We'll do them anyway. Who the hell's Lewis? This is way too heavy. I'm sorry, I know my limits. Über diesen Satz. Ich habe doch Durst. Trinken Wasser. Oh, I speak German, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that. Okay, so I actually really feel that, and I usually don't, so that's cool, I guess. Oh. Okay. Cooked. Okay. Where's my music, Holmes? Oh, it crashed. That's annoying. Alright, hit some overheads. And I think that's it. Alright, jumping right into the overheads. I'm doing straight bar instead of rope, because I want to. My triceps are already fried, so we'll see how this goes. Maybe I should have gone a little bit heavier. Okay, not bad. Alright, I did switch to the rope because I want to get that squeeziness in, and this is probably going to be too heavy, but we're going to find out. Okay, we're going to drop the weight just a little bit. Okay. You know what? I think that's all I got. I don't think there's any point in doing more. I have nothing. All right. All right. Ladies and germs, I think my chest pump has gone down a little bit, frankly, but the tricep pump certainly has not. So, let's inspect you and me. I mean, for 220, butt naked, 220, this is a good build, I would say, Because I was like, the last time I was this weight, I was fat. I was like really fat. And this isn't that fat. So anyway, let's inspect some pump. I'm still a little chunky to be hitting that though. Let's be honest. I've got just a skin-splitting tricep pump. Slight muscle imbalance here. As you see that, you get over here, it's not the same. That's all right though. Actually, one just might be more pumped than the other. Oh, that's sore. Don't do that. Maybe a little most muscular for you. Yeah. All right, that's pretty cool. Next day, I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. It'll be legs. Type happy birthday in the comments or you're gay.